In his Gettysburg Address, Abraham Lincoln hoped that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. Democracy requires that every citizen play an active role in decision-making. But recent times have seen an increase in political apathy, civic disengagement, and distrust of government.
Democracy's always been a rather radical idea. I think it gives America a lot of its energy because there's no king or anyone to boss us around. We have to decide for ourselves. But if you're going to have people engage in self-government, they have to know what to do.
Our public schools serve as laboratories of democracy, where young people could develop into civil, engaged, and informed citizens.
Civic engagement is important for our students because it takes our students from the classroom to the real world.
Since 1974, the Constitutional Rights Foundation Chicago, CRFC, has worked with teachers and schools to prepare students to lend their own voices to the American conversation. CRFC aids schools in their civic mission by providing students with authentic opportunities to learn and practice democratic skills.
That's the brilliance of the Constitutional Rights Foundation. It's not a traditional program. It's not a traditional classroom program where you learn out of a textbook. Instead, it's an interactive program where you have the lawmakers, the government officials who are actually drafting and enforcing the laws, teaching the students what it's like to draft or enforce the laws. Very different from your traditional read out of a textbook, learn out of a textbook. It's interactive, and that's what makes it work.
One of CRFC's programs, the Edward J. Lewis II Lawyers in the Classroom program, partners attorney volunteers with teachers to help elementary and middle school students understand their rights and responsibilities under the law and the challenges of democratic decision-making. More than 650 attorneys worked with over 9,500 students and 180 teachers in 90 schools this past year.
I think the students benefit from the Lawyers in the Classroom program because it allows them to interact with professionals who are actually practicing law. It shows them some of the career options that are available to them, just by thinking about the basic constitutional issues that we try to introduce to them through these lesson plans.
We learned about a case and we had to solve it.
The students get very excited when the lawyers come, and I usually work on the topic that we're discussing, like the case, with the students before they come so they're prepared. So they have really good questions and are really involved and have kind of a background before they get there so they can really dive into it and get as much out of it as they can.
Designed for use in government, civics, constitution, and other social studies classes, CRFC programs give students background on our legal and political systems and challenge them to apply this knowledge through case studies, discussions, and real-life policies. Teachers learn in-depth content about the American legal and governmental systems, as well as innovative ways to incorporate these methods.
The Constitutional Rights Foundation offers a multitude of professional development. I've had the opportunity to participate in the Deliberation for Democracy in Americas, where our students will have an opportunity to take controversial issues and that are meaningful and affect them, and begin a dialogue about those things and share their responses with students in another part of the world.
CRFC provides students with hands-on learning about the Constitution so they can address the challenges of American democracy and make up their own minds regarding the pressing issues of our time.
I just learned from now that freedom of speech and freedom of press were two things that were connected to each other, and that freedom of speech would be kind of useless if you didn't have freedom of press.
I think too often people that are born in the United States take for granted some of the rights our democracy provides. So the more we can educate students about that and actually have them see how this operates by practicing their skills as future citizens, the better our country will be 50 years from now.
Many times young people are the forgotten group. They don't have an opportunity to talk to adults about how they feel. They pretty much follow the agenda that adults set for them. And I think that CRFC gives them a voice. whether they're from the most economically disadvantaged community as opposed to the wealthiest community in this area.
Nonprofit and nonpartisan, CRFC designs and conducts local, national, and international programs that explore fundamental rights, law, and policy.
In our view, there's a historic mission for America's schools, and with caring teachers, quality opportunities, and administrations that are focused on making sure all of us can get along, we can prepare them to put together a country that we'll all be proud of.
To learn more about the Constitutional Rights Foundation Chicago, visit crfc.org.